Hello, this is Ed Mitchell and welcome to today's video on exporting data to Excel. Exporting data to Excel has many advantages. The most common is Excel is a convenient way to manipulate data. Data in PubWorks is exported in two ways. One is from a report that you generate from the report set, and the other is from a filtering or a search tool. And one thing to remember is that when data is exported from a report, the formulas such as sums do not carry over. The value for that sum will be in the report, but not the actual formula. So if you go in and manipulate the data, it's not going to automatically update the sum, and that's a very important item to remember. So let's look at this now in real life. First thing we're going to look at is exporting a report, and the most common type of report that we're going to do will be from the category data listing reports, but it can be any report. They all work exactly the same as this. So I'm going to just go to my category data listings, and I'm going to go to the location features, and one of the things I'm going to do here is, let's say I want my signs to export. And I'm also going to say that I just want a certain district, so I'm going to click the District 1 or Route 1 here. And now I'm going to click OK. And so this generates your typical report that you see. And normally you'd just be printing out from this, but so I want to now export this to Excel. So what I do is I go up here in the upper left, and to the left of that printer is an Export Report button, and I'm going to click on that, and then it brings up the export dialog. Another common thing I can do with this is print it to Adobe Acrobat, but I want to print this out to Excel. And you'll notice two forms of Excel here, Microsoft Excel and data only. And I'm going to show you I'm going to show you the results of both these, but the one that you're probably going to want to use the most is data only, and I'll show you the reason for that in just a second. So if I click, let's say, this first one, and I click OK, it's going to bring up a little box, and I'm going to say show grid lines, and I'm going to say OK, and it's going to then go and it's going to normally want to put this in your documents folder. You may want to rename this something that is meaningful to you, and you may want to change the folder where it goes. And and then you just save it. I'm going to cancel that because I've already exported this in the two fashions that I mentioned, one data only and one in the full report mode. And I'm going to go now to my documents here, and this first one I'm going to show you is what it looks like if you export it and what it just says Excel. Notice that it's a little funky. It brought in everything, including fields that you wonder what they're for. Well, these are hidden in the actual report in PubWorks, and so what was happening is it's trying to bring in that formatting, and you really probably don't want this. This is a little bit. It's going to need a lot of cleaning up, and so what we're going to want to look at is instead this list of features here, and comes in. It's a little bit funky also in the sense that columns are sort of merged together, so you just sort of open up those columns and there, that should be good. And now I have the second one, so you're still going to have to do a little cleaning up. I'm going to just delete that because I don't need that. And so I have here that same list. It's in a much more usable format in the sense that it doesn't have excess columns. And if I want to now, I can just go here to data, I can sort this, and let's say I want to sort this by street, so I'm going to say sort this by parent location in alphabetical order, and here are the streets that came in alphabetical order for Route 1. The other common export to Excel is with our various filters. So if I go to for example, my fleet work order status, so any of the status screens down at the bottom have an export to CSV. So I have it for fleet work order status, I have it for service request status, and then I also have it if I want to do a filter, activity filter, and here I can just say, for example, that I want everything for a certain project, and here I have 207 records, and let's say I want to export that and manipulate those activity records in an Excel spreadsheet. So I would just go down here to export to CSV. Now CSV, for most of you, when you open a CSV file, is going to open up in Excel automatically. That may not be the case for everybody, in which case you'll right click on it and you'll say open with Excel. But Excel handles CSV files just beautifully. So I would put in here export to CSV. I'm going to go here and it says I'm going to export that number, and I just click OK, and it's going to save that. Now another way I can do that is, or something similar, is under my asset search, and this to me is the probably the best tool of all for using the export function. So here I go, for example, to my signs that I was looking at before, and I remember I had that listing report before, and I'm going to go here to signs, and I'm going to go to district or Route 1, and I'm going to generate that list, and I have my 53 signs. Now what's really advantageous about exporting from the asset search is that it's going to export also for that each asset all the user-defined attributes and other various metrics that you may have in the system. So this is really very handy. And so I'm going to set all checks. So one of the things I have to do here is I have to say which ones I want. So I set all checks, and then I'm going to say export to CSV, and it's going to go here and it's going to again want to put this in someplace. This is wants to put in my data, but normally I'm going to just put this in my documents folder here, and so I'm going to save that. So now let's go look at those two exports that we did. So I open up my folder here, and I'm going to go and find my documents folder, and first one I want to look at here is the activity filter export that I did, and if I double click on that, it opens up in Excel. Again, it's going to be a little bit funky because the columns aren't perfectly set up here, but it's pretty easy to do. And then again, like anything else, I can highlight this and sort this by any means that I wish. So if I wanted to go in and sort all these by a certain location or a certain task, I can do that. I just again go to data, I'm going to go to sort, and in this case I'm going to sort it by task, and I'm going to click OK, and now these are all sorted by task in alphabetical order, and then I can do whatever I want to with it. So let's close out of this and go to the other one that we had looked at, and that was the asset search. And so I'm going to open that one up, and here again I have to do a little bit of work to it, but notice as I go along here I've got a lot of columns here, and this includes everything from the lat and the long to any metrics, heating type for these signs, etc. And so if I want to sort these by the MUTCD, I can just again go to Data, and I'm going to do a sort, and I'm going to do this by MUTCD, click OK, and now these are sorted by MUTCD for this district or this route that I have in the system. So again, this is a very handy way to do this. I encourage you to play around a little bit with this. It has a lot of capability, and Excel is a program that most people know extremely well, and so it's an easy place to manipulate your data. If you have any further questions or need some help with this, please contact PubWorks support, and we are available 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Time, and you can call 888-920-0380 extension 2, or email support@pubworks.com. Again, this is Ed Mitchell. I hope this was helpful to you, and have a nice day. Thank you.